today we're looking at some songs that have NaNaNas in them. Yeah, check it. Now I know what you must be thinking. He's desperate as hell for some material if he's looking at songs that have oohs, ahhs, and NaNaNas in them. Well, that's just not the case. I heard like 3 or 4 songs in one day that had NaNa in it. And I decided to just look up how many songs I could find that actually use banana in the lyrics, and there's a lot. There's a whole lot, and it's not just like B-sides. It's a lot of #1 hits, like a lot of hits, a lot of songs that people know. Pretty astounding. There's oohs and ahs don't really count. People use that as like filtered harmonies in songs, but these NaNaNas, they're like substitute for chorus parts. They're substitutes for verses and bridges. You don't want a guitar solo in there? Not. They're outros to their entire huge orchestral outros to songs. And it's just, it's pretty insane the amount of NaNaNa songs there are. Let's look at some of them. These are in no particular order, except I think kind of my favorite order that they're in. So let's start with this one.
Take it back.
Blondie's taking it kind of back here on this. This tune was one of many that had a lot of controversy surrounding Blondie's sound when she jumped from more of a punk rock sound and background to more of a pop rock sound. At the time, it was like punk rock and new wave were in this weird on the fence line in the 70s because really people really didn't know what the hell new wave was at the time. And Blondie was kind of the face of the scene there, and she was accused of selling out to her punk rock crowd people. You know, that's like selling out. And a lot of the new wave people and a lot of the punk rock community accused her of being more of a sellout to the disco community. According to lead singer Debbie Harry, Heart of Glass made the band pariahs in the eyes of many of their fellow musicians in the New York music scene. The band was accused of pandering to the mainstream, and many punk rock, new wave bands at the time were actively rebelling against her. What a bitch. Not her, but the whole thing that went on. She also went on and said, "The people got nervous and angry about us bringing different influences into rock. Although we'd cover Lady Marmalade and I Feel Love at gigs, lots of people were mad at us for going disco with Heart of Glass. They were bringing a bunch of different genres and influences in, and people were pissed off at them." Which is pretty much what happens to any musician who jumps out of their box. Oh, by the way, there's NaNaNas in this song. Iggy Pop's Strong Girl. Track number 3 on Iggy Pop's 8th studio album in 1988, Instinct, is Strong Girl. And the NaNaNas in this come towards the latter end of the song. It's basically an entire outro to the tune. The album was released in the late 80s, and though still regarded as a punk rock legend, the album kept up with the 80s theme, 80s time, 80s sound. Even with tunes similar on the record like Cold Metal, which actually charted at number 37 on the Billboard mainstream rock charts, and the album itself earning a Grammy nomination in 1989. NOFX's Leave It Alone. Yeah, I got some punk stuff on here. It's kind of jumping around from genres and years and stuff. Released in July 1994, it was NoFX's Punk and Drublic album. If you're a punk rock fan, you definitely know of NoFX's Punk and Drublic album. The tune was one of the first and only singles off of the entire record. And to date, the album is actually NoFX's most successful record, peaking at number 12 on the Billboard charts, selling over 500,000 copies in the US, and this was all without any radio play or music videos on TV. And while I do say music videos, I do mean on TV. They filmed music videos, but they weren't airplay. Because, you know, no one plays punk rock, man. All-Time Low Satellite. Told you we're jumping around. Released on ATL's sixth studio album, Future Hearts, in 2015. The album with Something's Gotta Give on it. That one. That's like the single that everyone knows off of that record. Future Hearts debuted at number 2 on Billboard and sold 75,000 copies in its first week alone. The song Satellite's actually the first track off the record. It is super slow and sounds like it has no place on the entire record. I guess it's kind of a build-up to the rest of the album, which is a little more poppier, a little more rockier, and not a lot of whole punkier, because they got rid of that sound. A lot of bands are getting rid of that sound, that whole pop-punk sound, going more for the pop-rock sound. It's actually one of the only songs on the record that isn't written by John Feldmann. John Feldmann produced, recorded, and co-wrote a lot of songs on the album for Future Hearts. If you don't know who John Feldmann is, he's produced and helped record a lot of records, including Blink-182, The Used. He's also the lead singer and guitarist of the band Goldfinger. 2, 3, 4! Bon Jovi's Born to Be My Baby. It's one of my favorite songs from Bon Jovi, but it doesn't get a lot of respect, hype, airplay, radio play. Nobody plays stuff on TV anymore. It was released in November of 1988, the year I was born, and the second single from Bon Jovi's album New Jersey. It peaked at number 3 on Billboard's Top 100 in 1989, 7 on Mainstream Rock, 22 in the UK, whatever the hell it was in the UK, and number 30 in Australia, whatever the hell it was there too. It was a super low budget video that they did for the song. I remember the first time I saw it, it was on Yahoo, I think, back in the day when like 360 was considered like HD. Yeah, on the interweb, and it took 4 hours to load. But I remember seeing that video, and it was awesome because it was like them the video showed them recording the song and the takes that they did. It was kind of a crescendo, how they built up guitar and bass, and the NaNa's in there. It was kind of all of them in the studio doing the gang vocals. Pretty cool. Like I said, one of my top 5 favorite Bon Jovi songs. Yes, I'm a Bon Jovi fan. Don't hate on me for it. Journey's Lovin, Touchin, Squeezin. While not one of my favorite songs by Journey, you can't have a NaNaNa list without a NaNa song like this. Released as a single in 1979 from their album Evolution, it became Journey's first hit in the United States. Yeah, this is before Don't Stop Believin' and Faithfully and like all the other songs that Journey does that everyone knows. Lights, that one. Reaching number 16 on the Billboard Hot 100 in November of that same year that the album was released. And like I said, it's not my favorite tune by the band, but it's definitely an iconic one. It's one of those songs where you hear it on the radio and you might not even know it's by Journey, but you know the song. In July of 1979, a music video for the song was actually made. And it was written and directed by Bruce Gowers, if nobody knows who that guy is. He's best known for producing and directing music videos for Queen and Michael Jackson and Prince. Which is kind of strange to make a music video in 1979. I mean, it was pre-MTV, or like very, very early MTV, beta MTV, and definitely pre-YouTube. There wasn't an internet there. But I don't even know where you get a music video from unless you like got them on VHS tapes. Google what a VHS tape is, anyone. under the age of 25. Fall Out Boys, Where Did the Party Go? Now I should have stuck this one later on in the list. Well, earlier on in the list. Probably like number 7 or number 8. It's not really a particular order. But like way they're up there because there's really not a lot of NaNa's in this song. But it's kind of early on and then in the middle. And it's one of those things where it's like, hey, we couldn't figure out a part for this. Just fucking here's some NaNa's. Here we go, here's some NaNa's. So from Fall Out Boy's 5th studio album, Save Rock and Roll, which was released on April 12th, 2013. In this album, we started to see Fall Out Boy in more of a pop rock sounding rather than their old school pop punk roots. In this album, they went kind of a different direction. As accompanying to every single song on this album, the guys decided to put out a music video, which we got pretty much once a month. There was about 12, 13 tracks on the album. And it was actually kind of cool. I wasn't a huge fan of the album, but the whole music video thing was an awesome idea. Every video picked up where the last one left off. So we were left with one gigantic cinematic experience, and when it was all done with, you can go back and watch them all and watch the entire story unfold. Whatever the hell happened. It was crazy. One video they're kidnapped, the other one someone's a fucking vampire zombie thing. It gets exponentially crazier and crazier as the story progresses in it. Like I said, not a huge fan of the album, but the music video thing, totally awesome. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. My Chemical Romance's song, NaNaNa, it's just a whole fucking bunch of nas, okay? If you didn't see this one coming, you're kind of dumb. Or you just didn't know that they had a song, or you don't listen to this type of music. Why are you on my channel? Thanks for subscribing. But the song NaNa with a whole bunch of nas, Na carried to the 10th or 11th power. I don't know how many it is actually. This was featured on their Danger Days, The True Lives of Fabulous Killjoys album, which is one of the last albums that they had, for the band to disband. The song was released as a single in the US and the UK on September 28th, 2010 and November 7th, 2010, respectively. And the song actually peaked at number 1 on the UK rock charts. I, like many people, have been missing some MCR, but if you have been missing them, you can also check out the Umbrella Academy, which is either coming out if you're watching this as of now, or already on if you're watching this a couple months from now, years from now, decades from now, on Netflix. Maybe they took it off Netflix if it's decades from now. I don't know. Maybe MCR got back together if you're watching this decades from now. I really hope so. I really hope they have a reunion someday.
The lights off, carry me home.
Blink-182's All the Small Things. It was the second single released from the band's 3rd studio album, Enema of the State, in 1999. The track was primarily composed by then guitarist Tom DeLonge, as an ode to his girlfriend, because she actually did some of that sappy stuff, like leaving him roses by the stairs. The entire album itself was recorded in Los Angeles and produced by the late Jerry Finn, and the song was created with the intent to ship to radio. They needed a radio song, and the guys sat down in a writing session and was like, alright, let's make a sappy song for radio. As the trio went on to say, they needed a song that felt really catchy and basic. And the song still lives up to the hype to this day. It's actually one of my favorite songs by Blink-182, even though it's still played all over the place. My marching band actually played it as like a pep rally song. Kinda crazy. Play that on baritone sax. Number 1, last but not least, is the Beatles' Hey Jude. Hey Jude was released in August 26th of 1968 in the United States and on the 30th in the UK. Backed with the song Revolution on its 7-inch B-side, and both of them were released as a single. It was one of 4 singles introduced at the time to introduce Apple Records. That's how far back this goes. Apple Records was just invented by basically this song, if you kind of want to get down to it. You have to be on an alien from another planet if you've never heard of this song, and even from then, I'm pretty sure that they sang Beatles songs and Elvis tunes in a space shuttle somewhere in outer space. And if they got a hold of them, then maybe they heard this song and they know what the hell they know of the NaNaNas, which are the most iconic part in the entire song. Giant outro. It's the whole latter half of the song. It's like it's a verse and a half long of fucking Nas. Hey, did you like the video? Thank you for commenting, and subscribing. Share this on over to your friends that like music and stuff. Head over to the Pop Punk Dad merch shop where you can buy a cool thing like that thing right there. It supports the channel. Let me know that you love me. I got daily blogs on the poppunkdad.com. I've got a podcast called the Pop Punk Dadcast on iTunes and SoundCloud. You can check all of that in the description below. Please subscribe to that as well. And above all else, guys, stay pop punk. Later.